Welcome to Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner. I'm your host, Jason Parker. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving out there. I know I ate too much food, which of course is the is the reason you do Thanksgiving, to eat too much food. Our first story today comes from London. Gordon Ramsay has a airport restaurant called Plain Food. Gordon Ramsay's Plain Food. How original. They're known for they have a bar, a restaurant, but they're mostly known for their kind of grab and go food. It opened in '08 when Heathrow's Terminal 5 opened. That was kind of like the big expansion. In 2013, Gordon said that he was going to try to expand it globally to LA, New York, Chicago. That didn't happen, but now he's teamed up with SSP, and their plan is to bring it to all the big global hubs. So I would definitely love to see a Gordon Ramsay grab and go at LAX the next time I'm flying out. Grab some of his famous short ribs or a little cheese plate or something. Gordon Ramsay is he's awesome, and that's why he has so many Michelin stars. And when we're talking about global and we're talking about Michelin stars, Forbes recently came out with a study of where the most 3-star Michelin restaurants are. And they found the most 3 stars are in Japan. Michelin is in love with Japanese food. A lot of people are actually mad that Michelin likes Japanese food so much, but what are you going to do? Japan has 28 3-star restaurants. France is close second with 27. America has 14. Germany has 11. China has 10. Spain and Italy are tied with 9. The UK has 5. And Switzerland and South Korea are tied with 2 each. And if you want a Japanese restaurant with 3 stars that isn't in Japan, go to New York. New York has 5 3-star restaurants. I think one of them is 11 Madison Park, and the rest must be Japanese. In food news close to home, Cleveland's Saxon Creamery recently won 2 gold medals at the World Cheese Awards in London. Their Big Ed's Reserve Gouda, which sounds phenomenal. I love a good Gouda. I actually prefer smoked Gouda, but I'll take any Gouda. And their Saxony Alpine cheese both won gold. The World Cheese Awards, 35 countries participated with 3,000 entries, so that's really great for Cleveland. This company, Saxon, has only been open for a decade. They opened in 2007, so just only great things ahead from them. I would expect to see their cheese on a lot of cheese boards around fancy restaurants from here on out. Keeping things in North America, in Toronto, there was a recent restaurant pop-up for 2 days called June's. June's was used as a fundraiser for an HIV AIDS hospital, Casey House in Canada. It's actually Canada's only specifically just HIV AIDS hospital. The big deal about the pop-up June's was all of the kitchen staff were HIV positive. So all 14 of the staff members. The actual menu was a 4-course menu. It was actually, the menu was thought up by Matt Basil, who owns Fidel Gastro. Fidel Gastro is like the street food in food trucks kind of guy in Toronto. He also is the host of the food show Rebel Without a Kitchen. So the people at Casey House, the reason they put this pop-up on with the HIV positive chefs were because a recent study found that 50% of Canadians said they would not eat at a restaurant where the chef or the chefs preparing the food were HIV positive. Casey House said that they will definitely be expanding this pop-up. Their hope is to expand it globally, which is, it's good for kitchen staff, it's good for workers, it's always good to have good food out there, and especially if it's for a good cause. In coffee news, Inc., which is a Denver, Colorado coffee chain, kind kind of have some problems right now. They have a location in the northern Denver neighborhood of the Five Points, which was traditionally an African American neighborhood. Inc. moved in 2014, kind of with no problems, until last week they put up a sign that says, "Nothing says gentrification like being able to order a cortado." And on the other side of the sandwich board said, "Happily gentrifying your neighborhood since 2014. Well, people in the neighborhood were pretty pissed off. By the end of the day, the sign had been stolen by a skateboarder. Actually, right around the time the NAACP wrote a letter to them saying, "We demand you take down this sign," but they didn't have time because, as I said, a skateboarder stole it. Later that night, their window was smashed. They had somebody spray painted white coffee inside, which technically it's green coffee, but what are you going to do? Well, brown by the time they roast it. So Inc. decided their first response was to do a joke tweet that said, "Oh, sorry, it looks like we drank too much coffee and we made a mistake," which nobody in the neighborhood was buying, and that just made people madder. The owner, he wrote a little response that did an apology, but it sounds like things aren't going well. They had about 20 people across the street from Inc. Last week protesting and boycotting. 600 other people signed a petition, said that they would boycott the shop. So hopefully Inc. needs to give some free coffees away. Actually, what they should do is they should contact Weird Wave Roasters here in Los Angeles in Boyle Heights and ask them how they've solved their gentrification problem. Well, that's it for Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner with Jason Parker. Episode number 1. Thanks for sticking through it with me, through all the hiccups and such, and all the background noise. I actually have water in this ear for like a week now, so I'm pretty sure I sound like a weirdo. Have a great rest of your week, and see you later.